Welcome back to the Fairways of Life show. This segment is presented by Superstroke. So coming into the John Deere, I heard some really interesting sound with Rickie Fowler. Now, Rickie Fowler is a unique player. He's a 5-time winner on the PGA Tour, so he definitely has the competitive cred, but Rickie has been struggling. I think everybody knows that. He has had some the last couple of years, some peaks that have returned to his game. But by and large, across the board, Rickie has pretty much been struggling. His average finish in 2025 has been 43rd. When you break that down, that means that he's made 12 of 15 cuts coming into the John Deere. So when you have a missed cut, the way I use that in terms of an average is I put that at 75th and then average it in with the rest of his finishes. His last 5 tournaments, he's had some good performance. 2 missed cuts, yes, but a tie for 16th at the Charles Schwab and a tie for 7th at the Memorial. As to the performance, Ed, and the numbers speak, and I understand for those people who are reticent to use stats, because stats really don't matter in the flash of the moment, but they do matter in retrospect when you're looking at, say, the balance of a season and a performance. They do tell a story. They're not just hard, cold numbers. The story that it tells for Rory McIlroy, or the story that it tells for Rickie Fowler, is as follows. Strokes gained total. Rickie is 108th on tour. Strokes gain off the tee, he's 65th. Strokes gain approach, he's 105th. Strokes gain putting, he is 100th. Driving distance, Rickie is 80th. And greens in regulation percentage, Rickie is 29th. That stat array right there is not even average. It's awful. And I'm sure he would attest to the same, that he is searching. The piece of it is that I think is important to remember here is that Rickie is working very, very hard. The other side of who Rickie is in terms of these stories is because of the power of his personality. Rickie is a very easy player to like. He's a very nice person when you meet him in person, but he has a personality that translates through many commercial avenues in particular. But Rickie Fowler was granted sponsors exemptions into 6 of the 8 signature events this year. So as the PGA Tour has been moving in a direction of going, no, we're a tour about the superstars, and the unspoken message being, if you want to be amongst the best, play better. Well, Rickie hasn't done the latter, but he's numbered amongst the best because of the it factor that he possesses. Otherwise, again, reiterating, he got in through sponsors exemptions in 6 of the 8 signature events. Whether you like Rickie doing that or whether you are against Rickie doing that, I just think it's a point of something to think about as the tour is moving on down the road, because many times the criticism was that it's kind of an old boys network where the rich get richer, and is this case taking care of one of their own, or is it okay because you want to see Rickie amongst that grouping because it is a group of stars? He has the star quality. He just right now is struggling with his game. So just some thoughts to consider. Rickie was asked about these areas. The series of questions, and John Burkett kind of edited these together, so I'll go through with you these specific questions so that when you hear this concise, you'll hear his answers. He was asked, has Keegan approached you at all about being an assistant captain on the United States Ryder Cup team? Do you ever find yourself searching for that kid-like joy that you had early in your career? That's a pretty probing question that he was asked here. Have you thought at all about your own schedule next year when the fully exempt tour goes from 125 down to 100? Rickie is well outside that number currently. How would you say your season has been going so far? I just ran through with you the hard, cold numbers of what he's actually done and where he stands relative to other players on tour. It's pretty rough. And then finally, how does it feel to be back at the John Deere for the first time since 2010?
It's great to be back. I was able to go play in Zach Johnson's Pro-Am yesterday and, see some faces I haven't seen in a while, and excited to be back at this tournament. One that I definitely liked when I played it, and I wish I would have played a little bit better, but I feel like it's a tough part of the schedule, and it was always tough to kind of fit it in and make it work, especially leading into British, and hopefully that's okay. So I was just excited that it was able to work out this year. Decided to take next week off with Scottish and play more here in the States. So yeah, looking forward to taking the family, over to the Big Dig tonight. This is a great family event, so been a little different spot in my career and being able to do that stuff now. I wish it was some better finishes than that, but it's at least been heading the right direction. Feel like trending at the right time, taking last week away, but outside of that, I feel like been seeing a lot of positives and like I said, heading the right direction with the time of year we're in, and just got to keep it simple, go out and have fun and play golf. I haven't really looked at that too much, just because I'm not sure where I'll exactly be at. Would love to have some solid weeks here and be inside the top 50, and go play Tour Championship. Get sneaking inside the top 30 be even better. So some unknowns at this point, but I think going to 100, could be. I think it's a step in the right direction as far as, we all want the PGA Tour to be the most elite tour there is on, out here, the best product. Not saying that just the 100 is how we get there, but, with guys getting, maybe fewer and fewer starts that are towards the back end of what cards are available, guys earning cards, whether it's Q School, through Korn Ferry. I feel like their first year is almost like a tryout. You only get, a handful of starts, and you better play good when you do, versus when you earn a card to actually feel like you really have one. I think, that may be potentially where the tour might be heading. Ultimately, it probably would be less cards, possibly less events. To me, I think I mentioned it last week, but to me, I believe as far as the PGA Tour and the product and being that elite, I don't personally believe in secondary or opposite field events. That's just me personally. I'm not saying they should or shouldn't be around, but for what I believe that the PGA Tour is, that's kind of where I'm at. I love to play. I think sometimes, when you're out competing, it's and when you're struggling or maybe not getting the results that you want, it can be tough to, be out there and feel like you're having fun. I go teeing it up with friends at home. That's still fun. I love to do that. It's a lot more fun when you're playing well at tournaments and in contention. But when you look back, for me, looking back at the few years that I've struggled, once you're out of those, I enjoy the grind. I don't know if everyone else does. The guys that have had success and been, through the ups and downs, you appreciate the tough times because they kind of help define you a bit, and appreciate the times when you're playing well. So yeah, it's all about having fun. We all, I would say, majority of us enjoy it, but there's definitely days where it's tough to have fun when it's not exactly going the way you're expecting. I haven't heard anything on that. Obviously, I've loved all the team events I've been on and been a part of. So we'll deal with that if it comes to that. I'm obviously happy to help out, but I know Keegan's working on trying to make his own team. He's got some great guys at his side helping out. If they want me there, I would hope scheduling everything would work out. It'd be fun to be a part of, but we'll deal with that when it gets to it.
This segment was presented by Superstroke. SuperStrokeUSA.com is the website. These are their new Revel grips. You see Lampkin 100 on the top. That's because these Revel grips are using legacy technology from Lamkin. They have put together grips that have the look and the feel that made Lamkin absolutely legendary, and then combined it with Superstroke's new revolutionary technology. That combination has made grips, these new Revel grips, grips that have never existed before in the golf industry. Give them a try. When you do, you're going to find out, regardless of which of the three styles is best suited maybe to your eye or to your feel, that you're going to get a performance that you didn't think you could even get from a golf grip. Check them out, superstrokeusa.com.